Hey Aaron,
Hi.
how are you doing? It's been a while since we chat.
Not gonna lie, I'm doing well. I think it was about 2 years. Editor put the date up here. That's been a while.
That's
though.
right, that's right. Alright, so let me ask you this. Do you know there are different types of hackers?
Well, I have heard of phishing and stuff like. Mainly, it's about spam. People who I know it's clickbait sometimes.
I'm asking about hackers. Do you know what black hat hacker is?
I've researched those before, and I've heard there are hackers who do things wrongly.
That's right. So black hat hackers are bad guys. They are the one who, will do the ransomware stuff. They'll try to do the data breach. So they are literally the bad guys. So let me ask you this. What about the white hat hackers? Who are those?
Those are people who hack, who do against the bad or try to, as far as I've not researched this in a while. This is purely memory based. When I did, I looked, and all I know is that they are a group of people who try to go against these hackers or something like that. The rest of the details I think are just completely made up, or I just don't remember well.
Alright, that's fine. So that's why we're having this conversation. So white hat hackers are they are also known as ethical hackers. These are the good guys. What they do is basically they try to test the networks, applications, to make sure to identify the vulnerabilities, and then this way the companies can fix those vulnerabilities. So even for instance, you will hear the term called pen testing or penetration testing. Basically that's what they're doing is they are trying to pretend to be bad guys and see if there are any holes in the application or network, and then they inform the companies that here's a report, here are the issues with your application and network, and you need to fix it. So white hat hackers, they're the good guys. So they're also known as ethical hackers.
Well, and they're also basically testers. You basically just described what they do. They can test a complete cybersecurity, or what's the strength of your firewall, or whatever is there, and but I've heard there's a lot of other ways black hackers can hack. So can you share with me what are how do these black hackers that is a
black hat hackers?
I
know it's a mouthful, so it's fine. I get it, man.
So
yeah, they have all their ways, right?
What's the most common that I can prevent myself? What's the most common way anyone who's watching this can protect themselves from it?
Well, there's so many ways, these hackers try to get into it, but the most obvious thing is, or I would say one of the most obvious thing is, be careful when you get emails, right? You have heard, and I think early on you just mentioned about phishing attacks.
Yeah.
So that's a very common way where they will try to pretend to be someone.
They're not.
So when you are, seeing the emails and you're unsure about, what somebody is asking you, especially when they're telling you to click on certain links, I would advise you to, just don't blindly click on the links. That's the most common ways. No matter how, I would say you have the best protection systems in place, but if these emails get to you and you are not paying attention and you just click on the links, you'll get, either ransomware or some other ways they'll try to get into your system. So that's the most common ways black hat hackers try to expose the businesses. So there's also a third type of hackers. Do you know that?
Never heard. No, I've only heard of black and white hackers.
All right. So the third type of hackers are known as gray hat hackers. So I'll let you guess. What are the good guys, bad guys, or what do they do?
Okay. Gray is a combination of black and white. I'm using this as a riddle. I don't know why. Gray is a combination of black and white, meaning that this is a group uncertain of what they want to do. They can do something bad, but can do it for good. I'm guessing, purely guess.
Yeah, so they are in between. You're exactly right. They're in between. What they do is gray hat hackers, they will, on their own, they will go in, just like when people are curious, right? They'll go in and they'll look through the, codes, or they'll look at some systems on their own, and they'll try to identify the vulnerabilities.
I think there was something like this, what people do. I don't think they're considered gray hat hackers, but what these people do is, especially for gaming, when, I'm gonna use only Fortnite as an example, I don't play it, but just as an example, what I heard a lot of times was people would be finding leaks about what was new in the game, like if everyone remembers season 4 when Iron Man came out, he was in the source code. There has been about Reality OS by Apple, but then sometimes they can get out of hand. I think something with Microsoft and Twitch, which I do stream on sometimes, happened.
People go in, they'll voluntarily identify the vulnerabilities in these applications, hardware, and even the network, and then they'll inform the companies and say, look, there's some issues, we see security issues on your network or application, and you should do something about it. So they're not really the bad guys, but also at the same time, they are not, intentionally trying to do bad things to the businesses. But I'll tell you, just as a, cautious note, never ever anybody should try to do these pen testings without getting a company's permission, because you can get into legal issues. So I would highly recommend for people not to just voluntarily go out and start looking into other people's network or applications unless you get a written permission from those businesses. So just to recap, 3 types of hackers: black hat hackers, white hat hackers, and then gray hat hackers. So thanks for participating, Harun.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciate your time.
Yep.
And thanks everyone.
Have a good day.
Thanks, man.